You won't tell anyone, will you? I'm a bit excited for Christmas, so I thought I might just open a couple of my presents early. You won't tell? All right, right, okay. I'm just so excited. What have we got? Oh, chocolates again. I mean, I like chocolates, but you always get left with the coffee ones, don't you? At the end. Oh well. Next one. This is going to be really good. This is squidgy. Maybe. I don't know. What could it be? I wonder. Socks. Work socks. I mean it. Yeah. I guess. I mean. Well. Mm, I tell you what though. Let's hope this last one's going to be really good. Okay. Here we go. Oh, it's interesting. What? Oh. Okay. Well, it's yeah. It's a Christmas story again. I got the Christmas story every year. Same old Christmas story with Mary and angels and Joseph and little baby Jesus. Um, yeah, no, I might just wrap these back up and put them back under the tree because then at least I can sort of open them last and prepare my sort of excited face for when I get them. Yeah, not so good this year, eh? You know, every year it's the same old presents, isn't it? We get sometimes same old Christmas story, same old chocolates and socks and smellies. And do you know that in the UK, depending on who it is you listen to, we as a nation spend either millions or even billions on unwanted Christmas gifts each year. Topping the list of things most likely to be unwanted are clothes and perfume. And if you were to go onto eBay, they actually have their own category for listing items as unwanted gifts. And apparently, about 50% of us are going to get an unwanted gift this year. And in a few days, we'll get one, and many of us will feel the emotional pinch of, what do we do with this wonderful thing that someone's given us, and we think is a bit rubbish. Unwanted gifts have actually become a bit of a problem. We've got consumer advice shows saying to us, don't buy them, and yet every year we still do. And I guess if we're honest, for many people, they probably feel that the Christmas story itself is a little bit like an unwanted gift. Jesus' birth kind of hangs around in the background, and maybe we feel a little bit like we should think about it. But there's a lot of getting ready to do for Christmas, and we've heard that sort of old, very fairy tale like story every year, year after year, always the same. We know Jesus came to save us in some way, if the story's even real. But do we want saving? Do we need saving? Maybe you've heard someone talking about the Christmas story and Jesus coming as Jesus being God's gift at Christmas given to us. But we wonder, did he include the receipt? Because we're not sure we want or need him. And so the Christmas story stays on the edge of Christmas for many. Certainly a heartwarming tale of people coming together. Certainly an appreciated inspiration for those Christmas carols we love singing by candlelight. But still something that we perhaps wouldn't miss so much if, it disappeared. But then, returning to these socks and chocolates or smellies, that's another popular gift. Some of these things are unwanted because they're just rubbish. They're just tat. They're naff. Something like perhaps this that you can get from the pound store. It's a lovely tabletop ping pong set, which most likely is going to be going in the bin before the start of the new year. So some gifts are unwanted because they're just rubbish. Others, they're just not to our taste or to our interest or to our liking. Some things are pretty tasteless to our eyes, like, say, this Christmas dog costume that you might buy for your dog. Hopefully, you wouldn't wear it. Of course, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Maybe you and your dog would love to receive this costume. But, there's the gifts that are rubbish. There's the gifts that maybe we just think, well, they're not to my liking. But then there are gifts that are, like socks or like smellies that actually, when we think a little bit deeper, are quite useful, are quite worthwhile. After all, we need socks, we need to be clean, and probably those things will serve us a long time after the more flashy gifts have broken or we've got bored of them. These sort of unwanted gifts, I think, are generally unwanted because they're just a bit ordinary, a bit mundane, a bit dull. Christmas, I think we feel should be about that excitement and that anticipation that we all felt and maybe still do feel as children, waiting and desperate to unwrap those presents under the tree, expecting a wonderful new toy. Everyday things don't really fit that bill. So, although in reality some unwanted gifts are actually pretty useful, we pass them by because they're just too familiar. They don't grab our attention. And so I think through familiarity, through being reduced to its most basic components by repetition, by the small plastic gaudy nativity set, this story of Jesus' birth can become an unwanted gift. But here's the question: what kind of unwanted gift is it? Is it the naff kind, just fundamentally rubbish, not fit for purpose? That would certainly be the case if the Christmas story wasn't really true, if it really was a sort of fairy tale. Or is it the kind that, personally we find tasteless or we're just not interested or intrigued by? Or maybe it's that third kind that, when you think about it a little bit more deeply, when you explore a little more, actually it's just what you needed. Now you think about it, I usually have got holes in my socks by the time Christmas rolls around. So yeah, it's a good gift. It's actually really useful. It may not strike me as the most amazing thing to start with, but actually it's much more useful than some other things that might grab my attention. And so I guess I want to invite us, thinking about unwanted gifts, to ask that question: what is the Christmas story to you? Is it like an unwanted gift? And if it is, well, why is it? Is it because we think it's the naff kind, just rubbish, not true, useless? Is it because we just say, well, that's fine for for other people, but not for me, not my interest, not my taste? Or is it actually that kind of gift where might it be that kind of gift where if we dig a bit deeper, we think a bit harder, we realise actually it's incredibly useful, incredibly important and special. Maybe we haven't seen the beauty or interest the story holds. Maybe we don't know about the evidence for it. Maybe we just haven't thought it through. Well, in the new year, as a church, we're going to be running something called an Alpha course online. It'll be very easy to join in with, and it's a chance to take a second look, take a deeper look at this unwanted gift, as it were, that we get given every Christmas. To look into that question: is it really just naff, just made up, just a fairy tale? Uh, is it something that actually, you know, I've missed what others see in it? I might think it's not very useful, but I've missed what's useful, what others have seen in it. Answering that question of, well, actually, what happens when we do look deeper, when we do explore deeper? Maybe you've been thinking about that a little bit as we've had this Advent calendar, and we thank you for joining us for it. But we want to invite you to consider joining in with that course with us in the new year, to think about it. What kind of unwanted gift is it? Is it actually, when we look deeper, something significant and important? And we've been thinking a little bit this week, haven't we, about the shepherds and the joy that they experienced when they listened to the angels and they went and looked, they investigated themselves to see if what they'd said was true. And they arrived at that nativity scene, and they had great joy. They found everything that they'd expected and more was true. So we want to invite you, offer that opportunity to look deeper into this Christmas story and beyond. And I guess Statistically speaking, just a couple of days, around half of us are going to be opening a gift which we don't really want, and about a week later, someone else will be buying that gift from the local charity shop. So I guess probably time to start practicing our surprised and delighted faces.